What is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? RevHellCowboy here, and this is my very late WWE Battleground prediction video. Yeah, there's less than 3 hours ago, actually more, like 2.5 hours ago, depending on how long this takes to get to YouTube, until Battleground starts. Of course, the kickoff show is, sometime after 6:30. And, well, things happen. I'm busy during the week of work and other stuff. And then yesterday, I had no power for a short time because of a power outage in my neighborhood. So if I wanted to do the video yesterday, well, I didn't have a chance and ran out of time before I had to go to work. So, yeah, sorry about that. But anyways, enough about that. We'll get into the predictions. Originally, there was 6 matches in total on the main show. 7 if you include the kickoff show match, but they had to scrap one at the last moment, and that was the Intercontinental Championship full threat. Ryback defending against The Miz and Big Show. Ryback, unfortunately, has a staph infection, so he's unable to compete for a while, but if he were able to compete tonight, defend his championship, I was going to predict that he was going to win. I don't see them putting the belt on Miz or Big Show, especially Big Show. I don't think anyone wants to see him the championship ever again. But whatever, that's just my opinion, for sure. Opinions of a lot of people. Anyways, let's get to the other matches that are confirmed, and they could always add one more, so keep in mind, I'm only going to make predictions for the matches that have already been announced. First, the kickoff show match. We have King Barrett versus R-Truth or King What's Up. And I'm going with King Barrett. As much as I've enjoyed seeing R-Truth come out with his funny paper Burger King crown, his plunger, and cloth, blanket and cape, I just don't see him being, King Barrett, because this match is for the right to be called King. And there's no reason to have Wade Barrett / Bad News Barrett win the King of the Ring tournament. It's supposed to elevate you to a higher status, maybe even to a main event status, I just don't see him losing R-Truth. This is the end of King Barrett. I mean, someday he'll go back to being something like being Wade Barrett or Bad News Barrett, but for now, keep him as King Barrett. It works for his character. Since he's kind of that obnoxious, cocky, ruthless person that he is, so it works for Barrett to be king. So, like I said, he's going to win that match. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised. Next match, Randy Orton versus Sheamus. And what is there to gain for either one of them? Especially with Sheamus being the current Money in the Bank holder. I don't know, this is just a random match just thrown in there, and there hasn't been a whole lot of build-up. I'm going with Sheamus to win because he has more to gain. He needs momentum before he eventually cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase because he gets an conference oath because it's been a year. So obviously he has until before next year's Money in the Bank to cash it in, so he'll cash it in soon, but I don't think he'll cash it in for a while. But for now, I just don't see him losing to Randy Orton. If he does, whatever, doesn't really do either, doesn't do anything for Orton, and does hurt Sheamus a little bit in his current run as a heel. So we'll have to see. Next match, we have Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, which has probably been one of the few matches with the best build-up, and it was the first match that was announced for this pay-per-view back after Money in the Bank. This is tough. Most likely, even though Roman Reigns will be the favored winner, they gotta have Bray Wyatt win. Bray Wyatt has lost almost every match he's competed in as of late. From last year's WrestleMania against John Cena, he's had the feud with Dean Ambrose, which I think he might have had a win, but I can't remember. He's lost to Undertaker at this past WrestleMania, and lost to Ryback. So I feel like it's just they're turning, and I'm sure a lot of people think this way, they're making Bray Wyatt into a glorified heel. I mean there's no doubt that Bray Wyatt's still very strong on the mic. He cuts very good promos. He knows how to intimidate people. Even Roman Reigns Roman Reigns is hard to intimidate. And I'm sure Roman Reigns will move on to bigger and better things, as there's a poster going around with him, Brock Lesnar, for SummerSlam. Even though I don't see that happening. That's just only a poster. But who knows? We'll have to see. Next match, we have the Primetime Players defend the WWE Tag Team Championships versus the New Day. Now, it's not known which two members of New Day are going to be in the match. Most likely it might be Xavier and Big E, since they were the ones who won the tag team titles, a few months back, and I don't know. I say the Primetime Players are going to win because they've been very entertaining, and I don't want to see them lose the belts that quick. They've only been champions for a month now, and I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Primetime Players when they first debuted, but they were heels back then. Now they're faces, and they cut some very entertaining promos, a lot of them on the New Day, and they're great on commentary. So I hope they win and keep the belts for at least a few more months before either dropping them back to New Day or to another team like maybe the Usos once Jey Uso returns from injury, or just some other team maybe. We'll have to see about that, I guess. Now this is probably one of the bigger matches on the card, one of the most anticipated matches. John Cena defended the United States Championship against Kevin Owens, so the third match they've had so far, and I'm going Kevin Owens to win. One, Kevin Owens has been very strong ever since he's been in WWE, from debut on NXT and first defeating Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship to making his first appearance on the main roster and destroying John Cena. And even though he lost at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view last month, but he did have his victory at Elimination Chamber, they gotta have Owens win this one. Especially since he's no longer the NXT champion, since he lost the belt to Finn Balor in Japan at the Beast in the East show. So I can't see Owens not walking away with the U.S. Championship. It would help him out. Plus, Cena needs to move on. Maybe he'll move on to a feud with somebody else. Maybe he'll move back into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship scene. Yeah, I know that not everybody wants to see that, but I just think it's time for Owens to feud with somebody else. Maybe Cesaro. There's been a good little feud brewing between the two of them. Maybe Rusev will get involved, depending on whether or not they're going to continue to feud with Rusev and Dolph Ziggler. But still, I say Owens has to win. If not, well, then maybe SummerSlam. But I definitely say he's got to win tonight. And finally, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Brock Lesnar taking on champion Seth Rollins. Please don't hate me for my opinion, but I don't think Lesnar's going to walk out with the championship. Now, I do think he's going to win the match, but it'll be a disqualification. Unless they've changed it to a no disqualification match, I just don't see Lesnar walking away with the championship. I know people are talking about Lesnar possibly win the belt and defend it at SummerSlam against Roman Reigns as a rematch, which I don't know if we want to see that. And the Roman Reigns-Lesnar WrestleMania match was okay. It wasn't really that great. Now, I know Lesnar will beat the crap out of Seth Rollins. He will take him to Suplex City, bitch. We know that's going to happen. But there's a rumor The Undertaker might come back. He may come back tonight, or he may come back tomorrow on Raw. Whether or not Taker will get involved, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. More people want to see Taker come back at Mania, because WrestleMania has kind of become Taker's pay-per-view, since that's where he had his streak, and then since he's been really hurt over the last few years, he only appears at Mania, so I don't know. I mean, and Seth Rollins, I'm not the biggest Seth Rollins fan. I mean, I was happy to see him win. I mean, I know I ranted a bunch of times about Lesnar being champion, and I don't hate Brock Lesnar. I don't. I respect Lesnar. It's just his run as champion wasn't really impressive when he wasn't appearing as much. I understand he's not going to wrestle on Raw, and the hell will ever see him on SmackDown, but if you're going to be a champion, you know, at least appear on Raw and occasionally on SmackDown, even if you're not going to wrestle. The Rock did it, so why not Brock Lesnar? I'm just saying, if they're going to put the belt back on Lesnar, at least have Lesnar appear more and don't go away for 2 or 3 months to come back. To me, that's just, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just an old school fan. I still believe in the old 30-day rule for defense championships, which I guess that don't exist anymore. That's why Daniel Bryan unfortunately got to hold the belt for too long. And hold on, don't get mad at me. I was a big fan of Daniel Bryan winning the belt, but of course he got injured last year, so that's why Daniel Bryan didn't have to defend the belt before vacating it. And then unfortunately, same thing happens this year after he became the Intercontinental Champion, but things happen. So anyways, those are my predictions and my thoughts on tonight's matches. at Battleground. Feel free to give me your guys' predictions. Let me know what you're most excited to see, and yeah, that's really about it. And stay tuned for my review video coming either later tonight or sometime tomorrow. And if you're not doing so, make sure to follow me on Twitter at RevHellCowboy. I'll be tweeting throughout the show my thoughts on certain parts of matches, what I think, and I might even go live on Periscope for a little while. Which once again, I'm on Periscope. Which if you follow me on Twitter, then you should be follow me on Periscope too, since they're owned by the same company. So make sure to do that. And well, that's about it. As always, I am RevHellCowboy. Rock on and keep collected.